Welcome back. Who doesn't love a Porsche 918 Spyder? Especially an incredibly rare paint to sample in acid green. They only made 4 of these. Incredible car. Unbelievable. Now this was last year in Manhattan Motorcars. I believe it ended up going to North Carolina. You look at the, pause it there if you want to look at the sticker. 1.89. And it sold, and I think it was up for sale in North Carolina for 2.4, 2.45. And this doesn't even have the WISOC weight reduction package. Still, I mean, look at this thing. This thing is just beautiful. Taking a look at the front air dam, the headlights, the beautiful acid green paint, which is really growing on me. You know, since I started going to car shows, going to meets, going to dealerships, and creating content, I'm starting to really appreciate the wild colors and wild specs. Love those mirrors, the carbon fiber on those mirrors. Single blade windshield wiper's pretty badass too. So I'm starting to really appreciate wild colors on supercars, especially after living in New York for a decade. I lived in Washington, D.C. in the city for a while, and you see so many black cars and white cars, and I love black cars, and white cars are cool too. My daily's a white car, actually, and I've had black cars, I've had red cars, but on supercars and hypercars, there's just something about the wild colors that really works. I mean, you wouldn't want an acid green Honda Accord, or a Jeep Wrangler, maybe a Jeep Wrangler, I don't know. Anyway, let's look at this beautiful V8 in the back there, which is also electrified. You get the best of both worlds with this car. This is part of the trinity of the 2010s, along with the Ferrari, LaFerrari, and the McLaren P1. The 3 legendary cars of the 2010s. So what would you rather have? Would you rather have this, a McLaren P1, or the Ferrari LaFerrari? I'd probably go LaFerrari. I'd go LaFerrari, then 918, then P1. Not that the P1 isn't badass, but it just, the McLarens look so similar to me, you know, and the LaFerrari really stands out. This car also really stands out. And for this kind of money, I wouldn't want a McLaren that the average person is going to be able to tell the difference between that, a 720S, 650S, you know what I mean? The McLaren F1, now everyone knows what that is. And we have a beautiful Cayman right next to this. I think it's a base model, maybe it's an S. We'll take a quick look at that. There's a GT3 RS in here. Check out those beautiful wheels. I love the acid green calipers with the acid green paint. Unfortunately, we can't get inside, but that's okay. We've got a GT3 RS on the other side. There's the other 918 that they own, which is on the other side, is a black 918, which I've done a video on. And I believe they've never even titled that car. So it's probably one of the lower mileage 918 Spyders in existence. Here we go, GT3 RS. Love the color, love the carbon fiber hood, the black wheels, yellow calipers go really well with this. Of course, for the 992 or 991.2, yellow caliper means carbon ceramic. And this is my go-to aspirational dream car here. This is a car I see myself owning someday, if they don't get too crazy in price. You know, I mean, the 918, well, they are still crazy, 268. And this, granted, this was a year ago, roughly a year ago when we shot this. But they've held their value very well, these cars have. Everybody wants one, and it's a WISOC. This one's practically loaded all the way up, I believe. It's interesting, actually at a car show, a Cars and Coffee out in Long Island at the Macy's there, they have a nice Cars and Coffee. A guy has a GT3 RS like this, but it had the comfort seats, and I've never seen that on a 3RS with the comfort seats. Usually the RS is always the Spyder seats, the Sportback carbon buckets. Got the titanium exhaust on these on the .2 for the extra 20 horsepower. Not sure if it makes a difference in sound. These cars all sound incredible anyway. We've got an older Targa. I believe that's a Targa. That's a convertible. And you can't tell from the camera, but the older ones are so much smaller. It's unreal, the difference in size. Man, I am such a 3RS fanboy. I love these. Especially the Dot 2. Although the 992 GT3 is pretty badass. I still haven't seen a 992 GT3 RS in person yet. Hopefully this spring when I start hitting some car shows. That carbon fiber hood really works well with this car. Really works well. Really sets it off. Back to the 918. Definitely one of the cleanest 918s I've seen. And here's the Cayman, which looks great in this red. Maybe this is Guards red. And we have a convertible here. I believe it's a Carrera S convertible. We'll see in a second. No, just the Carrera, just the base Carrera. You say just the base Carrera, it's an amazing machine. Got a Porsche bike over here. And I know nothing about this. It's a Manhattan Motorcars bike. Has some carbon fiber on it. Kind of cool, I guess. So would you rather have the 911 or the Cayman? And this one's a GTS, so it's looking good. They've really grown on me over the years. I know the newer ones are 4 cylinders, but I'd probably opt for one with a flat 6. Go ahead and pause that if you like. Oh, the 718 base GT, or base S and GTS, I believe, are 4 cylinder. I mean, you have to get the 4.0 to get the flat 6. They've had this car in here forever. This is the 73 2.8 RS, and here's the beautiful 918 I was telling you about, which hardly has any miles on it. It's never been titled. So this is the most valuable car in their inventory, but it's not really in their inventory because it's not for sale. Although they do have a Lamborghini. They had a Lamborghini Countach here too, which was worth roughly around $3 million, one of the newer Countaches. 918 Spyder, tucked away now. It used to be out in the middle of the showroom, but I guess they've had issues with kids and stuff. Wanting to check it out, touch it. Anyway, guys, like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.